All right, people, we're gonna be reacting to the movie. He's just not that into you. There's a recap. Hopefully, it doesn't demonetize the video. But I've never done a movie recap, so but I've been asked to do a recap on this movie for many years, like a lot of years, and I just didn't find a way to do it. But we're gonna do it now. So let's see. Hopefully, it's good. Hopefully, we didn't get demonetized. And yeah, don't forget, people, 50% off all of our courses using the coupon code Black, and 20% off working with me one-on-one using the coupon code Black.
To find real love, a yoga teacher chases a married man's notice. An ad expert gambles with social media. And a dreamy girl seeks a barman's advice, unsure if he likes her too. For a long time, Zai and others think men are mean to women they fancy, missing the chance they just don't like them. One evening, Zai is with Connor, a friend's property agent. She likes his company, but soon after their date, he quickly calls Anna for a date. Anna fakes being busy, though she's only shopping. She says she'll call back after shopping. Surprisingly, the cashier tells her she's the 1,000th shopper and wins a prize. Happy, she hugs the man behind her, Ben. When Connor gets home, he asks his pal Alex if Anna returned his call. Alex says no, and Connor thinks of calling her. But Alex advises against it. Meanwhile, Anna chats with Ben outside the shop, sharing her dream to sing. Ben suggests connecting her with an agent. This thrills her, but then Ben says he's married. That night, Ben's mate Neil gets home to his girlfriend Beth, who says their sister is marrying. Neil is okay with it, which confuses Beth as he dislikes marriage. Neil thinks showing off a relationship with marriage means you're unsure. They don't need papers to prove friendship, so love should be the same. He doesn't know this upsets Beth. The next day, Zia is anxious that Connor hasn't called. Janine tells her to wait, as her husband Ben didn't call straight away, but they're still married. Still, Zia keeps checking her phone and thinks of visiting Connor's favorite club. She watches her phone for days, even talking with Janine about her date, wondering if she missed any hints. Hearing this, their workmate Beth says she called her man after their date, so women can call first. Then Zia calls Connor but gets his voicemail. She follows to Janine's approved script, saying it's fine for women to call men.
And when a guy doesn't like you, it's gonna be a very, very simple process, people. They're not gonna call you. Like, for example, when I don't like and I go on a date, I don't call her. I just don't. We have fingers, people. We have a consciousness. We see you. We know you exist, and we're choosing not to text you. And it when we like someone, this explanation becomes very difficult to accept. The fact that you have no control over the situation, and that's why he doesn't call you. So then you backward rationalize and say, "Oh, maybe, the fucking Frida Kahlo told me I could change because I'm a feminist." It's like, no, like, let them make the first move. If they want to see you, let them at least ask you out on a second date. You could ask them out on a third date if you want to be Miss fucking Terminator, but you have to let them do the work in the beginning.
But the next part of her script is blurry. So she ends up sharing weird facts about
Fucking
men and
script.
women's equality before hanging up. Janine assures her Connor will ring back but sounds sarcastic. That night, he still hasn't called, so Zia takes action. She goes to Connor.
Oh no! You see this type of stuff. Rather than accept that they don't like you, you start imagining some fantasy
Like club, and sits where Alex, the
reason
owner
why
of
they.
Bart,
Oh, this guy again.
works.
Why some
She says she's
fantasy
waiting for
reason why he doesn't like you? It's like, no, it's not that difficult. It's just that they don't like you.
Like club, and sits where Alex, the owner and Bart, works. She says she's waiting for someone, and when Alex realizes it's for Connor, he tells her he's not coming tonight to not look bad. Zia claims she's returning his pen, but Alex sees a dentist's name on the pen and says it's not Connor's dentist. Caught, Gigi admits she wanted to see Connor after their date. She goes to leave, but Alex offers her a drink to talk. Hours later, Alex straight up says Connor won't call as he's not interested. Zia isn't bothered, mentioning a friend who was first rejected but later got into a relationship.
See,
Alex-
these like fucking like mythical stories that women share around when the guy doesn't like them is why they come back. Is why they start over pursuing hot girl in fucking Timbuktu, and a guy here like her, and she called him, and now they're in a relationship. It's like, yo, like, it's like, no, let them do the work. Let them do all the initiation. That's their job. That's not your job.
Calls this rare, making Zia argue she might be an exception. He insists if a man is mean, he's not interested. This breaks Zai Jai's belief, and she thanks LX for the new thought. The next morning, Zai Jai rushes to Beth and Janine, telling how she always chased men who showed little interest. She talks about women who persisted in marriage, but
Oh God, people, I've seen that smile.
she always
That
chased
smile.
men who showed
Look,
little interest.
I've seen that smile. That's the needy smile. That is the smile
She talks
of a
about women who
woman who can't stop fucking chasing. I've seen that smile, man. I swear to God. She's way too positive, way too romantic, and way too fucking needy.
persisted in marriage but realizes they're rare cases, and women like her are more common. This makes Beth think about her own unmarried relationship.
Oh God, now the needy is about to spread like a fucking virus.
Elsewhere, Anna tells her friend Mary about meeting Ben even knowing he's married. She's attracted to him. Mary recalls her dad's friend finding love after a divorce. She suggests Anna could be someone's surprise love, feeling hopeful. Anna invites Ben for coffee, but he says no. Heartbroken, Anna visits Connor, happy to see her. He comforts her about her looks, feeling better. She hugs him and leaves, though he clearly wants her to stay. She kisses him before going, keeping control over him. That night, Beth gets home still upset about being common. She suddenly asks Neil to stop being nice unless he wants to marry her. She explains she avoided marriage to not seem pushy. Now she wants to know if they'll ever wed. Neil is speechless, ending the relationship. Another day, Ben's in their half-done house. He leaves Anna a message reconsidering her offer to talk about her career. Just then, his wife comes. She jokes he's there to smoke, but he says he's picturing the room's future. She suggests making it a baby room, surprising him. Ben hesitates, then admits they're nearly ready to talk about kids. In a busy bar, Zai Jai meets Jared, and they swap numbers before he goes. She tries to clear up will call as he's vague.
Listen, man, when a man wants kids, you don't have to bring it up. That's something he's going to talk about. Like, you guys have to realize these things are things that people bring up on their own because they have an urge. Like when somebody wants to have a kid, it's an urge. So it's like a crackhead. It's like you don't want crack. Well, if he doesn't ask for crack, he doesn't want crack. You don't have to ask him. Well, he might be trying to quit, you know. But oh Lord, look at her. This is the needy look. I could tell.
Gidget rips his card after he leaves, stopping her from obsessing over him. The next morning, Mary tells her colleagues a man invited her out on MySpace. The man frowns, saying MySpace is now for quick flings. Mary argues that old-fashioned
Listen.
dating is rare
Gotta listen to the gay guy. They know.
now due to social media, so they need to adjust. Then Connor calls about the ad she made for him. That afternoon, Beth's at her sister P's wedding practice. They joke PA's hurrying the wedding due to pregnancy. She denies it, saying love leads to marriage. Seeing Beth's sad look, she reassures her. Later in Ben's office, he can't find the music agency list for Anna. He promises he didn't trick her. She questions why such a good man is wed. Ben says Janine made him choose marriage or breakup. He vents about men's pressure to wed long-term girlfriends, but criticized if they're not ready. Annoyed, he admits liking Anna, but can only help her dreams. Meanwhile, Janine finds her furniture dusty from work. She goes for covers but finds cigarettes downstairs, learning Ben lied. Elsewhere, Zai Jai fixes the torn car before calling Alex at his bar. She tells him about Jared, but Alex bluntly says Jared's not into her. He says if a man's keen, he'll try.
Yep.
Disappointed but thankful for Alex's honesty, Zai Jai rips the card again after Alex visits Connor shocked at his odd
He's hard-headed.
clothes. Connor thinks it'll help business, but Alex suspects it's due to Anna not being with him. Connor snaps that she once did. The next day, Ben goes to Anna's yoga class by the pool. He argues married men can have pretty female friends and Anna agrees. Ben playfully declares love, and they shake hands as mates. But then Anna strips and swims, inviting Ben. He refuses, not trusting himself, so she suggests he just watch. When Ben gets back, Janine shows the cigarettes she found. He blames the builders and plays victim, making her say sorry. Elsewhere, Zai jives with a man who, when asked about a second date, says he'll be away. She excuses
baddie.
herself and calls Alex, who's also
He's a baddie when she don't look needy. Look at her.
on a second date, says he'll be away.
She is a baddie when she's not looking needy. Don't psycho eyes all of a sudden look sexy as hell.
She excuses herself and calls Alex, who's also on a date. She talks about her date's remark, and Alex tells her to leave annoyed. She asks if she should always do this
She's back to her needy look.
with uninterested men, and he agrees, feeling sorry. Alex proposes a guy named Bill for her. The next day, Neil tells Ben he's unsure about marriage but wants Beth. He asks why Ben wed, and Ben answers he loves Janine, sounding doubtful. That evening, Beth's at PA's dinner rehearsal. Their cousin awkwardly notes Beth's still single, upsetting her. She leaves, but her dad follows, comforting her about being unique. They return to dinner, smiling. At a pub, Gigi waits for Bill, Alex's suggestion, but Alex shows up, apologizing as Bill mixed up dates. Zia is disappointed, but Alex notes other women get stood up too. He reveals men use the no spark excuse to reject women they dislike, as women accept drama. He tells her to move on like him. She asks why he's telling her this, and he says he likes her, but just as a friend. The next morning, Janine grills the main builder about smoking, but he denies it. Later, Connor hosts a queer men's house sale with Anna supporting but leaving early. He tries to kiss her, but she hugs him instead. Two men note the tension, telling him she's resisting.
Oh, the gay guys know. They know. Gay guys know, man. I'm telling you, man. Turn a gay guy straight, and that guy will be able to read women like no other guy before.
He admits he's struggling and doesn't know what to do. They suggest he act, but they don't know Anna's with Ben that night. The next day, Anna excitedly tells Mary that Ben might leave his wife for her. Mary thinks it's
I don't know. I always found her to be hot. She always looked weird, but like hot in a weird, chubby way. I don't know how to explain that. I just don't know how to explain that.
crazy but backs her. Mary then complains about being ignored by men online, but perks up hearing about Anna's MySpace man. Meanwhile, Alex asks Zia to a party, saying there will be lots of men. This call makes Zia wonder if Alex likes her. She tells Janine, noting Alex's efforts despite his date, the fake Bill.
Damn, like she almost like has a metamorphosis. Like she goes from hot to creepy and weird to hot. Like it's the weirdest transformation.
And the party invite. Janine's thrilled for her. In Nuri's office, she shows her mates her date's MySpace page. She likes him, but he hasn't called back.
Girl, he looks cute. Girl.
Her friends urge her to check her messages, and to her amazement, they hear a man's voice, mail Serena her, and inviting her to call back. Their celebration is short-lived when the next message plays, revealing the same song but with a different woman's name, indicating the guy called the wrong number.
Ooh.
In Home Depot, Ben and Janine are choosing wooden tiles. Ben suggests the less expensive imitation, but Janine insists on real wood, emphasizing her preference for genuineness and truth. It's at this moment that Ben confesses he had an affair. Janine, shocked, tries to remain composed in the store. Ben mentions he'll be staying on Neil's boat, but she questions why he's avoiding discussing their problems. She suspects he's trying to leave her, but after a moment of thought, he denies it, and they continue shopping together.
Nah, man, like honestly, when you sense like a certain level of ambivalence from a guy, like I think a lot of women have experienced this. You have to do him the favor and walk. He's just being a little bitch about it. He's just being a bitch, doesn't want to tell you the truth, and that type of stuff.
At PA's wedding, Beth walks down the aisle as a bridesmaid accompanied by her dog instead of a man, receiving applause from the guests. However, the wedding festivities are disrupted
And look, dogs are more faithful.
when Beth's father suddenly suffers a heart attack. At Alex's weekend gathering, his friends speculate whether he invited Zia merely as a friend or with romantic intentions. Zia, observing Alex with another woman, starts questioning her presence at the party.
Oh Lord, she's about to go in needy mode. I could tell.
Later, Alex approaches Zia, inquiring if she's been approached by any men yet. She admits to not having any luck and remains skeptical about Bill's existence. Alex then asks her to assist with the party, and she agrees enthusiastically, helping the guests while Alex enjoys himself. However, her suspicions arise when another woman takes over the task she was doing, mentioning that Alex instructed her to do so. After the party, Alex and the woman enjoy video games while Zia cleans up. The woman leaves post-game, and Alex thanks Zia for her assistance. He mentions he's going to bed, leading Zia to mistakenly think it's an invitation. She impulsively kisses him, but he pulls back, confused about why she thinks they're a couple. Zia lists her reasons but starts downing herself. Frustrated, Alex vents about women drawing complex conclusions from simple gestures.
Complex conclusions from simple gestures. Oh, she went back. She fucking morphed. He's needy. The Gurk again.
Gigi counters, arguing she prefers overanalyzing as it shows she cares, unlike him who seemingly treats women as disposable. She storms out, asserting she's closer to finding love than he is.
Oh.
The following morning, Beth is taking care of her father and cleaning up while her sister's husbands neglect their responsibilities. To her relief, Neil is in the kitchen, having completed some chores and grocery shopping. Overcome with gratitude, Beth breaks down and embraces him. In the afternoon, Janine returns home to her now finished house and begins to decorate. She attempts to call Ben, but he, being at the gym where Anna works, ignores her call. Disheartened, she starts laundry, only to find a box of cigarettes fall from his pants. This discovery triggers her, leading her to throw out his belongings in frustration. At Alex's pub, he attempts.
It's frustrating, ladies, honestly, because you got to realize it's not just the fact that she wants a relationship, but also it's the fact that she doesn't have a lot of time for what she kids and families, you know? And first of all, you should have started earlier, right? Feminism tells women to start in their 30s and late 20s. So it's like you should start in your early 20s. But yeah, you kind of feel for them, honestly. It's
Attempts to call Ziad but ends up leaving an awkward message on her voicemail. Later, Beth surprises Neil by visiting him on his boat. However, she declines, realizing she doesn't want this future with him. Heartbroken, Connor asks if they could return to their previous relationship, but she gently declines, saying goodbye with a hug.
her butt.
Upon returning home, Ben finds all his clothes.
Yo, these New York City apartments are wild
saying
as hell.
goodbye with a hug.
Like, this is the reason why people thought New York City had big apartments in the early 2000s. Because this is just a typical man in New York City. Look at it, look at this shit,
Upon
bro.
returning home, Ben finds all his clothes neatly folded on the stairs.
Like fucking Brickstone, like come on, man. Like I got Brickstone, but I'm in Mexico City.
Along with a large box of cigarettes and a letter from Janine asking for a divorce. That evening, after a successful date with Bill, Alex unexpectedly visits Ziad. He confesses his realization of being obsessed with her, similar to how she fixated on other men. He admits his.
And the way this happens is that you see them over time. You see them, and like I tell you guys in my videos, sometimes you fall in love by like it happens by mistake, like tripping and falling, like it just happens. And I believe that's when that happens. That's like the genuine love when it just happens by mistake.
His past behavior of keeping women at a distance and not understanding the feelings of falling for someone. Ziad mentions needing someone like Bill who doesn't cause drama, reminding Alex of his earlier words. The next morning, Mary encounters Connor at a cafe, leading to their first in-person meeting. Meanwhile, Neil moves back into Beth's apartment. She tries to discard his baggy pants, but he insists she check the pockets first.
The early
To her
2000s.
surprise, she finds a ring, leading Neil to propose, and she joyfully accepts. Sometime later, Beth and Neil celebrate their wedding on his boat. Mary deletes her MySpace account, having found love with Connor. Anna focuses on her music career, choosing to prioritize it over romantic pursuits. In the grocery store, Ben stands alone while Janine sets up her new independent home. Finally, Ziad and Alex throw a party where Ziad reflects on her journey. She realizes that her pursuit of love was never about the drama, but about never losing hope and continuously moving forward.
She's a hopeless romantic. Look at her. She looks not needy no more. She somehow looks different, and depending on how needy she looks, it's kind of wild. Oh, that's over. It's kind of wild, man. Hey, yo, let me know what you guys think about this. This is like a different video, like, different form of reaction.
There was
Never
more to the
reacted to.
story.
Shut up, Antoine. I never reacted to movies, but if you guys like it, I'll do more.